The Thomas Stonewall Jackson Monument in Richmond, Virginia by Adrian Krozel. So to start, who was Thomas Stonewall Jackson? He was a Confederate general born on January 21st, 1824 in Clarksburg, Virginia. Both of Stonewall's parents passed away when he was just a young child, which led him to be raised in the homes of relatives. He was actually an orphan at just 6 years old. He fought in the Mexican-American War, which is where he met General Robert E. Lee. And according to Britannica, Thomas Stonewall Jackson became a professor at the Virginia Military Institute in 1851, but joined the Virginia State Forces following the outbreak of the Civil War. Thomas Jackson he earned his nickname Stonewall at the First Battle of Bull Run, where, according to Britannica, he stationed his troops in a, quote, strong line withholding the enemy against overwhelming odds, end quote. He became recognized as one of the most skillful tacticians of the Civil War, and Jackson passed away on March 10th, 1863, about a week after being accidentally shot by his own men. And he didn't die from the gunshot wound, he died from pneumonia, which he got from the wound. He was buried at the Oak Grove Cemetery in Lexington, Virginia, and rests there to this day. So the monument itself, the Stonewall Jackson Monument, was created in 1919, almost 50 years after Stonewall's death. The statue was sculpted by Charles Keck and stood at 37 feet tall. According to an article published by the University of Virginia Special Collections, the statue cost about $35,000 to construct and was paid for with public funds. The statue was located on Monument Avenue in Richmond, Virginia, but was removed from its pedestal in July of 2020 following Mayor Richmond's orders to remove it. And then here we have 3 pictures of the monument. And then its connection to the Lost Cause. The monument can be seen as a representation of the Lost Cause movement goal. And the goal of the Lost Cause movement was basically to downplay slavery as a major cause of the Civil War and instead emphasize that one of the main driving factors for Southern secession was to preserve Southern heritage and their way of life. And the statue was created in 1919, which was during the Reconstruction and was a time when Southern whites aimed to revive the memory of the Civil War to push for desegregation. The monument was a way to glorify Stonewall and other generals like himself, showing him as a hero who fought to preserve Southern heritage, not to preserve slavery in the South. Stonewall's monument was a way to justify segregation and Jim Crow laws by disguising them as customs and traditions of Southern whites.